Hey there, thanks for joining me for another episode of Blind Buys. I really appreciate you stopping by, spending some time with me as we go through another fragrance together. The weather here in New York is finicky, it's stupid. Sometimes it's cold and sometimes it's hot. It's peaking near 70 and the mornings are, in the 20s. You gotta wear 4 layers in the morning and take them all off in the afternoon. It's kind of dumb, but we're getting there. It's spring or it's late winter, however you want to look at it. That gives us an opportunity to do some sort of late winter, early spring kind of fragrance, something that's not too dense, it's not too offensive in the high heat. At least we're hoping. We're going to find out. But, we're just going to kind of have to see what happens. I'm really hoping this sort of toes the line and doesn't really get offensive or anything weird in the high heat. Hopefully, we just don't have any super high heat, perhaps, some 50-degree days would be fine. So I'll stop yapping. You've already clicked on the title, so you already know what we're doing, but it's Creed Tabarome Millesime. I think this is the batch code. It says lot. I think that's the batch code if you don't want to stick around for the second half of the video. In the second half of the video, I always do perfumer, batch code, where I bought it. But where I got it or where you can buy it, how much you can buy it for, price per ounce, perfumer, projection, longevity, that kind of thing. And final thoughts in the second half of the video. So if you're not sticking around and watching the entire video, you're missing out on some things that aren't necessarily just first impressions. So we're going to cut right into this, and I'm going to try to not destroy the box. This razor is somehow still good. As I say that, it kind of peters out. Whoa, we're doing a bad job here. Yeah, we're doing a bad job on this one. So really, I guess my question is how old am I going to smell? Is this like an old man fragrance, or is this something that somebody my age, young 30s, could pull off? Something like that. Everybody talks about Aventus, Silver Mountain Water. What's the other one? Silver Island Water, perhaps. Nobody ever talks about Tabarome Millesime. So we're gonna, I guess we'll take the cellophane off for this guy. We'll go out the top. There's some writing and stuff. I can already smell this coming out of the box. Creeds have this little card, although that is easily reproducible. If you're trying to fake stuff, people are always worried about fakes. I really don't. I don't spend too much time worrying about fakes and stuff, although perhaps I should. And there's even a nice little packet in here. A little readable packet. It's got some Francais on the back and some English on the front. This is smelling very peppery, like a pepper mill already, It smells like a pepper mill. So I'm not going to read all this. I imagine it's all bull, to be honest with you. I've heard the Creed house is like made up, whatever. It's not a real thing. I don't even know if Oliver Creed is a real person, so... but we're gonna just rip this little guy out, and it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it would ever be. There it is, in all its glory. Creed Tabarome Millesime. So, ew. Hate that. But the cap was facing the exact right direction. You gotta love a little presentation. And that is a pretty nice cap. Atomizer, I nicked it a little bit, but that was facing the right way. I'm the only person in the world who cares about that, but it's good presentation. That is good quality control, and you gotta like that. So shut up and spray the dang thing. 1, 2, a little bit on the second shot, a little skidoo. Give her a third. That's a real good atomizer right there. Give ourselves a little 1 and 2. And, ooh, what are we thinking about this? What are we thinking? This smells a little old. It smells a little old. Ooh. Ooh, this one might be a little tough to pull off. Walking around, we're gonna have to find out. Oof. So I did read the accords on our old Fragrantica cop out. Give this thing back, and part of it makes sense, and part of it makes more sense. We've got citrus, warm, spicy, tobacco, which I think this is supposed to be mostly a tobacco fragrance, woody, sweet, animalic, amber, leather, balsamic, and powdery. And I get quite a bit of animal out of this, I'm not gonna lie. It smells a little, it's got some funk to it, you know, it's got some funk master flex to it. You know, that top citrus, no, I don't agree. Warm, spicy in its own warm, spicy way, but you know, it's not like any sort of cardamom or anything like that. Looking at these notes, on the top, we've got tangerine and bergamot. In the middle, ginger. And in the base, tobacco, sandalwood, ambergris, leather, and patchouli. So, those tops, sure, I mean, you know, that's in everything, right? We got a mandarin orange and bergamot top. Great, dude. So does every other fragrance. But this is spicy and tobacco-y. Smells like I should probably be 45 or 50 before I start wearing this. Kind of a weird one. Kind of a weird one for a young lad. Really heavy on the tobacco. Really heavy on some, like, a pipe tobacco. Not like a tobacco leaf, but like a bag of pipe tobacco. You know what I'm saying? If you ever stuck your face in some cheap pipe tobacco that somebody's using to roll cigarettes for 25 cents, then you know that's kind of what it smells like, but a little nicer, right? Overall, I mean, this is gonna be weird. I have a feeling this is gonna be a little hard in the high heat. We're rolling the dice here. We're rolling the Andrew Dice Clay here. So I don't completely hate it, but I'm not 100% sure how this is gonna go. So stick around, watch the second half of the video. We're gonna go through all the fun stuff, and you're gonna find out whether or not I actually like this. So thanks for sticking with me, you guys. All right, folks. I've been wearing Creed's Tabarome Millesime. I'm not entirely sure if you got to tack the Millesime on there or not, but Creed's Tabarome for the last 6 or 7 days. So it's about time we wrap this up. We're not going to come up with any crazy thoughts about it at this point. This fragrance came out in the year 2000. I was a total of 9 years old when this was launched. So it's been around and around and around for sure. The perfumer, they chalk it up to Olivier Creed. I've heard that Creed as a brand uses ghost perfumers at times. I'm not entirely sure. We'll give it to this guy. Creed, What does he make? What other fragrances are under his name? Well, anything with the name Creed on it. In terms of batch code, I got A3818B01, and that gives us a born on date of January 2018. So this bottle itself is already 8 years old. Kind of old. Kind of old. Didn't really expect it to be as old as it is. Any sort of degradation? No, I don't really think so. In terms of housekeeping, I got this off of Joma Shop. I think they were running some sort of niche sale or something like that, if you want to call it. I picked it up for $139.99. Uh, they put 1.7 ounces on the bottle, and that works out to a staggering $82 and 34, almost 35 cents. That's really quite expensive. Chalk it up to the small bottle size. Generally, you get a better price per ounce as the bottle size goes up, but still $80 an ounce is quite expensive for this fragrance. Let's be real. In terms of projection, it's not all that great. It's like a 2 or a 3, to be honest with you. It's not amazing. For $80 an ounce, I was really hoping this would do a lot more work than it does. In terms of longevity, it's not even really there. 2 to 3 hours, I'll give it 4 hours and be nice. I'll give it that fourth hour and say you might have some sort of skin scent and somebody might be picking it up on you, but I was finding it gone within 2 to 3 hours. You know, for what it is, like scent wise, there's a nice peppery tobacco. Once some of that sort of generic citrusy top kind of goes away, there's a nice peppery tobacco, leathery kind of vibe going on there. And I really enjoyed that part of the fragrance, especially the peppery tobacco. Kind of reminds me of Burberry London when I smelled it as a child, like just as peppery as can be. And it kind of falls off a lot earlier than you want it to. This is Tabarome. It makes you think of tobacco, or at least in their own write-up, they say it does. And really, I wanted an offensive tobacco fragrance, and that's not what I got. It doesn't end up wearing too old. You know, I'm 33, 34 or something like that at this point. It's like, yeah, I could pull this off. You don't have to be 40 or 60 or, 70 years old to wear this fragrance, but this is not anything that anybody 18, 19, 21 is going to have any interest in. If you're in that age bracket, seriously, just don't even waste your time. I guarantee you're not going to like this. It's not for you, and it never will be. They did not make this for young people. Even said, this is probably going to be a disappointing buy for just about anybody. If you really want to buy it, smell the fragrance, that kind of thing, complete your Creed lineup, like I said, you might want to be a little older to purchase this and make it work. But generally speaking, I think just about anybody's going to be disappointed. The high price, the low performance, the real only redeeming factor is the nice presentation, and the fragrance for the first hour or so, but it is what it is. We got another not performing kind of fragrance this time around. We're going to try for something a little different next week. That being said, find something that's as unique as you are, wear it unabashedly, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, you guys.